Hey, what's happening guys, Chris here, having a more detailed look at that Black Ops 3 map Gauntlet today from the Awakening DLC. And it's a little bit different to the typical kind of maps that we're used to seeing, as it's a combination of 3 maps, or 3 different map environments, all rolled into one. There's an urban section, a jungle section, and a snowy section. And the reason why we're seeing these 3 completely different environments in one map is because it's set in a top secret classified training facility for the military, that just so happens to be somewhere in the desert. Because of the way Treyarch deals with their maps with the 3-lane arrangement, this easily applies each of the 3 different environments to the 3 different lanes, with the top lane featuring a sprawling jungle setting, the middle lane being a sub-zero Arctic zone, and the bottom lane being the rainy city street, with both ends of the map having military rooms and areas. So starting from the left side of the map, you'll spawn here at the security checkpoint gate. If you venture to the right down to the bottom lane of the map, you'll reach the rainy city zone area, which is a fairly long, narrow path with a few bins and cars to use as cover to take down anyone dashing out from the other side. There's also a covered area here running along this lane too, not just to keep you dry, but to help hide yourself from enemies using the arches to strafe in and out of. There's 2 small rooms at both ends of the lane with windows overlooking the street, so these are good areas to check to see if the coast is clear before advancing forwards, and to catch anyone off guard, making their way into this area from the opposite side. Just be prepared to dash out of there if anyone launches a frag through the window, as both of these rooms are quite small, and they're obvious places for people to camp at. In the middle of the street, you'll also notice a doorway that leads straight to the middle snowy lane of the map. Speaking of that middle lane, I might as well cover that one next. This is the Arctic area, and it's the biggest of the 3, with lots of long sightlines and open spaces. Though there are several things in the area that you can use as cover, like the massive chunks of ice emerging from the floor, and the various boxes lying around. There's a bridge that leads from one side of the area to the other, and underneath this is a huge drop, where you'll die if you fall down. The only way to cross this gap is by wall running or thrust jumping over it. And at both ends of the path underneath the bridge are doorways that lead to the top and bottom sections of the map. Another key thing to note about the snowy area are the 2 rooms either side that overlook the bridge, giving you a great place to spot other players entering the area from their spawn, though you'll have to watch out for enemies who have also got the same idea as you, using the window on the opposite side to take you out. Now swiftly moving on to the 3rd and final lane, and this takes us to the dense jungle setting. It's a lot darker here and it's easy for both yourself and other players to blend in with the environment, so it might be best taking it a bit easy here to avoid getting taken out by someone hiding amongst the trees and bushes. It's a relatively close ranged area, though you can still use the gaps in between the trees to kill people on the far sides of the lane. There's only a few trees and rocks to use as cover, but because there's a lot of bushes and long grass spread across the area, it can be quite easy to catch people by surprise, as it's harder to spot enemies amongst all the plants. And not forgetting the other doorway in the centre of the lane that takes us back to that snowy part of the map. So those are the 3 different lanes and the key areas of Gauntlet. It's not a very vertical map, meaning that there isn't really any higher levels overlooking the areas, and it's all quite flat. Though you can still put that thrust jump to good use and access specific windows, and hop up on top of some of the cover pieces to get a better view of what's around, with the trade-off of becoming an obvious target for everyone to shoot at, of course. As a whole though, the map has quite a lot of open sightlines, and is a better map for longer range weapons than some of the other Awakening maps. There's a fair few narrow rooms and corridors too for SMGs and shotguns, but there's a lot more visibility over the lanes than we've seen in some of the other maps, and all of the 3 lanes have spots with long sightlines. From a design standpoint, there's a fair bit of variety in Gauntlet, and it's one of the crazier, more adventurous Black Ops 3 maps that we've seen so far, but there's no doubt that there's going to be more like this on the horizon. Well, that's all I've got for you in this one, guys. Be sure to slap that thumbs up button if you enjoyed the guide, and subscribe to see loads more videos, old and new. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.